Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. So today, back to our Python series. So far, what we have seen different examples, Python with Selenium. Then we have covered Python unit testing framework, that is PyTest. Now it's time to create a page object model design pattern with the help of POM. We can create a framework. Okay, so how to do this? So for doing this, what I'm going to do that I'm going to create a new separate project over here, and then we'll start writing our code. So today I'll just give you the basic structure. Today I'll create one page class and one test class and everything, and then accordingly we will proceed further. So first of all, that what we have to do, we have to understand that according to page object model, that we have to create a separate Python file. We have to create a page class separately, and then we have to maintain the locators over there. We have to create the page actions for the respective web page, and then we will write PyTest test cases over there. We will write assertions, and we will call those page actions. Along with that, we will create some configuration files. We will create some reporting. I'll show you that HTML report as well as Allure report also we will try to integrate. We will do execution in parallel mode with cross-browser testing and such stuff. A typical framework we will design over here. Okay, so today we will just write the basic stuff, and then accordingly we will cover this entire page object model in next 3 to 4 sessions. So we will do one thing. Let's create a new project. So go to PyCharm, new project, and let's see, I'm giving a project name over here. Let's see, this is my page object model YouTube demo, right? Something like this I'm going to create, and I simple open in a new window. So click on OK, right? I'll do one thing. Yeah, this is my new window, and this particular project, I'll just minimize it. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so the project is available, and here this is my project, and I'll do one thing. I'll open this particular project first of all, open in terminal, and we need what we need to install Selenium first. So I simply write pip install Selenium, because we need Selenium external library over here, and it's collecting Selenium so that we can add Selenium. And then we need to install, let's see, pip install pytest over here, and let's see, install pytest. So it's collecting pytest. Okay, and then later on, whatever it's needed, accordingly we will do that. So now you can see that, okay, this particular project got created, and you can see the external library under Python 3.7. We have site packages. Under site packages, we have PyTest, and we have Selenium 3.141 is also available over here. Perfect. Now we will do one thing. We will start creating the project and package structure over here. So project is already created, sorry. And now we have to create the package. So first package I'm going to create, let's see, this is a Python package I'm going to create. My package name is your pages. So all your pages will be created over here. Then the second package we are going to create, that is your test packages, where all your test packages will be created. And then I'm going to create one more. Let's see, right click on it, go to okay, Python package, that is your configuration package. And then we will write, let's see, yeah. So I think these packages are enough right now. And under this particular pages, we have to create our first Python file. Let's see, this is my login page.py for writing the page objects for login page. Then I'm going to create my homepage.py. Likewise, I have created. Then I'll go to my test, right click on it, go to new, and first we have to create what? In my test, I have to create, let's see, right click on it, and I'm going to create one, first of all, Python file, and my Python file will be test underscore, let's see, for login page. So I simple write, let's see, test underscore login page.py. Same way I'll be writing for separate file for test underscore homepage, right? And you must be knowing that we have to use Pytest fixture. So we have to use a common fixture in my conf test.py. Remember, in the last Pytest chapter we have already covered. So we have to create one setup and tear down fixture over here. So we will go to we will create a normal simple Python file, and the Python file will be conf test.py, and here we will write a fixture in some time. Then if you go to your configuration package, we will go to our okay, over here we will create our configuration that let's see, I'm giving some file name that is my config.py, and under this particular config.py, let's see, I'm going to create one test data. This is my class, right? Now guys, remember one thing: whenever you are designing something in Python, like if you are creating a file or something, then what you have to do that file name can be anything. Okay, see, I have given config.py over here, and your class name can be okay anything. But in Java, it should be matched. It means we should have the file name with the public class name that you have created. But here it doesn't matter. Here you can give the any file name, and it can have different file class name also, like that. So let's see, I have given class test data in this particular file, and then what are different things you need. So let's say I need first of all that let's see, my Chrome executable path. So I create some different environment variables over here. Where is your executable path is available? So my executable path is available. Let's see, users, Naveen, to data, and you go to downloads, and let's see, this time right now this is hard coded value. I'm simple writing it. So in my downloads folder, Chrome driver.exe is available. If you're using Windows, you have to use it accordingly. This chapter we have already covered in Selenium. Same thing for Firefox. I'll be writing Firefox executable path, and instead of Chrome driver, I'll be using Gecko driver over here. Okay. What else? I need my base URL. So just like in Java, right, we need to maintain one config.properties. Same way I'm maintaining one test data properties over here. So base URL, let's see, we will be working on this particular application. You pick app.hubspot.com and you paste it over here. And what will be your username? If you really want to use a username, you can use this particular username for this application that I have already created. 30@gmail.com. What will be your password? Is equal to, let's see, Selenium @12345. This is the password. And okay, like this, let's see some basic information that we have maintained over here in my configuration.py test data file name. Now what I'm going to do, immediately I'll go to my login page and then start writing the page actions over there. So how to do that? So I'll go to my login page.py, and then let's see, I'm going to create one class over here that is my login page class. And this particular login page class, guys, that first of all, we have to create the parent of login page class, which will have all the common utilities right over there. Common utilities means, let's see, how will you click on a button, how will you write the wait utilities, how will you write the send keys and everything. So we will start writing a custom function over there, and then later on we will try to modify and enhance that particular utility. But what we have to do, we have to create a base page also. So under my page, I'm going to create first a base page, which will be the super class of all the page classes. So I'm going to create my base page over here. Now in this particular base page, what will you write? First of all, that I need a couple of imports over here. So all the imports, let's say I'm going to take, let's see, these are the basic import. I just copy paste over here. Okay. And I'll simply maintain some documentation that this class is the parent of all pages, right? Like that. And some documentation we will write. It contains all generic methods and utilities. Generic method and utilities it contains. Okay, for all the pages. This is the documentation I'll be writing. And I'm going to create my class name is the base page, and then I'm start writing. First of all, I have to create a constructor, so I have to create init will behave like a constructor of this particular class, and then I'm going to pass one driver instance over here, one reference over here, and I simply using self dot driver is equal to driver. Just like this dot driver equal to driver in our Java, same thing. I'm using self dot driver equal to a driver over here like that. Then next function I'm going to create another function that, let's say I want to click on a specific element. So I simply write, let's see, do underscore click method I'll be writing. And what do you need for this particular thing? So I need by locator. So I simply say that, okay, by underscore a locator I need for a click. So I'm going to create my custom click over here. So how will you do that? For doing this, I'll be using my WebDriver wait. So I'll be using my WebDriver explicitly wait. I hope you are okay. We have already covered this particular chapter, guys. So I'm not going to repeat the same thing. Selenium stuff I'm not going to repeat. So self dot a driver for 10 seconds of wait, and then we will be using until, and we have already created one alias of expected conditions. So I'll be using ec dot, let's say I'll be using visibility of the element located, which element, the by underscore locator that you are passing it, and then you do a click over here, then dot click like that. Okay, so this is the method, let's see, I have created. So whenever I want to click on a specific button or link on a specific element, I simply call this particular element. I'll be passing the by locator over here. It will automatically wait explicitly with the help of WebDriver wait, and then it will perform a click over there. So likewise, let's see, I have created one single method over here. Okay, like that. Now the second method I'll be using, let's see, obviously we have to do send keys also. So I'll write do underscore send underscore key. That is my custom method, along with what? Along with same by locator that you have to pass, right? And which value that you want to pass. So which text that you want to pass. And I simply say that, okay, yeah, same thing over here, that WebDriver wait. And for that particular element, visibility of element located, let's say I'm using it. And then I'm using dot send underscore keys, and which key that you want to pass. I want to pass text key. Okay, so this is my second method, let's see, that I have created. Then some other method, let's see, I want to create one more method, let's see, get underscore element underscore text method that I'm going to create, self comma driver, and I'll be using WebDriver wait, visibility of element located. So first what I'm going to do, that I'm going to get the element for, okay, with the help of wait. So first I'm going to wait for that particular element, and driver we have to pass along with sorry, we have to pass by locator, not the driver. So by locator we have to pass, and until this particular element, so it will return what? It will return a web element. So I'll store in a particular element over here like that, because this is the property of the WebDriver wait for that particular element. So automatically with the help of by locator, it will create a web element, it will return an element. And then what do you want to do with this particular element? I want that element dot give me the text over here. So I'll be using element dot text, and then you do what? You simply write a return over here, put that proper indentation like that. So this method is giving you the text of the element over here. Now some other method, let's see, I want to write that element is enabled or not, or is visible or not, or something like this. So I can simply write that element is enabled with the help of self, and then same thing by locator, right guys? And I simply say that copy this particular line over here, and what you do is enabled should return a boolean. So whatever the element that you are getting it, okay, visibility of element located, and you do one thing, you simply write a return keyword and convert that particular into a boolean with the same element over here like that. Okay, so it will return a boolean true or false over here. Likewise, You can check that element is visible or not. So like this also you can do that. Or let's say I want to create one more method, get the title of the page. So get title self, and then I'll be using my WebDriver wait once again. WebDriver wait. I simple write self dot driver comma 10 dot until ec dot title is which title that you're looking for. I'm looking for this particular title, so I'm going to wait for that particular title, and then only I want to return the title. So I simple write, then you return self dot driver dot title. Okay. So these are the method. Let's see, I have written, guys. So later on I'll be enhancing with the proper try catch, proper error handling, exception handling. We will create some more generic methods. So let's see, for today I think it's enough. So we have created this particular base page, and this particular base page will be the parent of login page for all your page classes. So we have to write login page, base page over here, and we have to import this. So simple import like that. So you can write from pages package dot base page import base page class over here. Simple. Now it's time to write some login page features and the by locators. So by locator wise, first of all, that what we need couple of things. That I'll create my email field, because email locator is equal to, if you see this particular page, that I have to enter my username, I have to enter my password, and click on login button, right? So I'm going to, let's see, I want to interact with this guy, and login button. So we have to create 1, 2, 3 locators, and sign up also. Let's say I want to verify. So 4 locators I have to create. So how will you do that? So for doing this, email is equal to, I have to create a tuple over here by dot, okay, ID we have to use, and this by class we have to import. So let's import over here by dot ID, and what is the ID that you want to use? I want to use username. So you can inspect over here and you can see the username is the ID. Okay, you can see that ID equal to username. Perfect. Now back to this guy. So likewise, next field is the password is equal to, I'll be writing hi dot ID, and the password I'll be using. Likewise, same thing I'll be doing for the button. Sorry. And this is my login button. By dot ID, you can check the button ID. Login button ID is, let's see, ID equal to login BTN. So I simple copy paste this particular login BTN over here. And I want to verify it's a sign up link also. So let's inspect. So I can use the by dot link text over here. So I simple write, let's see, this is my sign up underscore link is equal to, I'll be using by dot link text, and the text of the link is sign up over here. Okay, so these are the 4 locators you can maintain like that. After that, I'm going to create the constructor of this particular. Okay, so I'll be writing initialize method with self underscore driver I'll be using, and then I'll be using one super keyword to call the parent class constructor. So super dot initialize with what? Initialize with driver, because in super class you can see that initialize driver initialize, and we have to pass a driver over here. So that's the same driver will be given to this particular driver, and this driver will behave like a class driver for me, so that we can use in your respective generic methods over there. Perfect. Now go back to the login page.py. So this is the constructor that we have created, and I'll do one thing here at the same time. When you okay, let's do it that thing later. Okay, now what else? We have to create the page actions as well. So I'm going to create another page actions. Let's see now. Let's see. I want to get the title of the login page. So login underscore page underscore title I'll be using. And how will you get it? So I simple write, please return self dot, okay, get title method that we have written. right? Now this get title method will be called, but this method says that, okay, hey, you give me the title and I'll be using the WebDriver wait, the explicitly wait to wait for that particular title. And once the title is visible, then I'll take the actual title and then I'll give it to you. So we have to pass the title over there. So, right guys, so we have to pass the title. So I simply say that, okay, yeah, login page title along with a title over here variable I'll be passing. So from the test class, I'll be calling this guy, not right now, and the same title will be given to this guy. Perfect. So this is another method. Let's see that I have written. Next method I'll be writing. Let's see, I want to check that this particular sign up link is visible or not, exist or not. So I simply say that, okay, is underscore sign up underscore this particular link underscore exist. Okay, and I'll simply write that please return. What do you want to return? That self dot is enabled method. What do you do that with enabled? Okay, we can create one is a visible method also that we can do that. So instead of is enabled, I'll do one thing. Let's see, this is my is visible method. Okay, which will return true or false. You can give any method name. So I'm passing this particular by locator and saying that, okay, hey, wait for that particular element and return true or false over here. So I'll be doing the same thing over here in my login page.py. Self is visible method I'll be using is visible, and we have to pass a locator. Which locator? So I'll be using self dot which locator that you are using it. The locator wise we have already this sign up link, we have to use that. So self dot sign up link. Right guys? Now here we will be using these locators. Next method I'll be using, that is I want to do a login. So do underscore login method. This is also a page action. So inside my page class, I have to create my by locators. So these are my by locators that I'll be creating, guys. So these are my by locators. These are also called your object repository. This is my constructor of the class. So I'll be writing constructor of the page class. And now I'll be writing my page actions. So these are my page actions, right? And this is a method used to, this is I simple write, this is used to get the page title, which is used to get the page title over here. Then another thing is that I'll be using, let's see, for this guy, this is used to, okay, this is used to check sign up link. And then last method, because documentation is important when you design the framework, this is used to log into application. So simple, let's see, I have written. And for login method, I say that, okay, hey, you give me the username password. So I'm simple passing username password over here as a right. And then I simple write self dot what? I have to enter the value. So I can access all the base page class methods. So enter do send keys method, I can use it, right? Do send keys for what? For which? Self dot email field, this particular email field, because do send keys method, guys, I can inherit from here from my base page. It's saying give me the by locator and the text that you want to enter. So I simply say that, okay, this is the by locator and the text that I want to pass, that whatever that, okay, we are passing over here, the same text I'll be passing over here. Like same way I'll be doing for another guy, that is for password locator, and the password value I'll be passing over here. So I'll be calling this particular method from my test class. And then I'll be using, I have to click on my login button. So self dot do click method I'll be calling. And for which value? For self dot login button that I have to call. So simple, these methods, let's see guys, I have written now 3 page actions and 4 by locators and 1 constructor that I have written. Okay, so this is my page actions for login page. And in your base page also, if you really want to write a documentation, you can simply write it over here as well. Now it's time to create one test login page.py. So I'll be going to my project, I'll be going to my test login page.py, and here we have to use Pytest. But before we use Pytest, we have to do what? We have to go to our conf test.py. So that will be the global fixture for all my test cases. So here we have to use import Pytest first, right guys? And then I'll be using first of all from Selenium, I'll be importing WebDriver, and yeah, like this. Then I'm going to create one method, initialize underscore driver method, and here I'll be passing params. Remember that fixture that we have already created. If you remember, I'll show you that. You go to our Selenium demo and you go to our Pytest sessions conf test.py that we have already created. So please go and check that particular video if you're not able to understand that. So I'll do one thing, I'll just copy paste this exact thing over here, okay, from here to here. So let me just minimize it. No need to write once again, just copy paste, right? And let me do one thing. We haven't installed the package for a WebDriver manager. So let me install the package for WebDriver manager as well. Or if you don't want to use WebDriver manager, you can directly pass the executable path also. So let's do one thing. Let's not use WebDriver manager. I'll be using my executable path is equal to, now executable path, first of all, we don't need these two imports, so just remove it. Now executable path is available where? In my test data class. So can I use this particular test data dot? These will behave like a static variable for me. So test data dot, okay, Chrome executable path, I can use it. So I'll go to my test underscore sorry, conf.test.py, and here I simply write test data a dot see Chrome executable path. And this test data we have to import. So simple import, right? Same thing if it is equal to Firefox. So I'll be using my executable path is equal to test data dot Firefox executable path, which is coming from here. Perfect. So conf test.py is ready, I think. Then store in a particular driver. Don't use implicitly wait because we are not using implicitly wait concept. We are using the explicitly wait concept, and WebDriver.close, and then done. So this is the conf test fixture that we have written. Chrome is and Firefox scope is equal to class that we have to use, and this is my fixture name. I'll quickly go to my test login page.py now, and here we have to do what? We have to write our test cases. So first thing that we have to import Pytest over here, and we will write a class, and my class first I'll be writing, let's see, this is my test underscore login class, right guys? Now you can apply that particular conf test fixture directly in this particular class, or you can do one thing that you can create a base test class also. So I'll do one thing, under my test I'll be creating my test underscore base Python file. Let's see, test underscore base.py, and here under test underscore base.py, what I'm going to do that I'll import Pytest. You remember we have taken this particular example earlier, and then I'll be creating one parent class for all my test classes, right over here, and then I'll be creating, okay, let it be like this. I'll simple return pass. It means this class has no body, but this class I'll apply my Pytest dot mark dot use fixtures. And what is your fixture name? The fixture name is that we have already created over here. This is my fixture name, initialize underscore driver. So in double quotes we have to write it, right? Sorry, not here, in my base. Here we have to write it. Perfect. Now this class is ready, and let me just, yeah. Now base test we have to use over here, okay, because this is my parent of this particular child class. So we don't need to use extends keyword just like in Java. We just need to write in the bracket parent class, and then you need to import this. Import, perfect. And what we have to do now? So here we have to start writing the test cases directly. So first test case I'll be writing definition test underscore, let's say I want to verify the sign up link is there or not. So I simple write verify sign up underscore link, okay, is visible or not, like that. And then now see it carefully. With this particular self, right guys, with this particular self, what I'm going to do that first I'm going to create the object of a login page class. So how to create an object of login page class? So I simple write, let's say self dot, I create one variable, login page is equal to login page class, and then I'll be passing self dot driver over here, right? And this login page we have to import. Now this is the reference that I have got it, okay, that I received. And then with the help of this self dot login, right guys, what I'm going to do, I have to call all the methods which are available in login page class. So self dot, and the method name is what? Self dot login dot, the method name is sign up link exist or not. I want to check, and it will return, if you remember that, it will return what? A boolean. Okay, it's visible, it will return a boolean. So what I'm going to do, I simple go to my login page, I'll store in a boolean over here, right? Let's see, my flag is equal to this, and I simple write assert this particular flag, like that. It means assert true. We are expecting a true value over here. Perfect. Now second test, I'll be writing again definition test underscore page title, login underscore page underscore title I'll be using, and same thing, I'll be using this particular, I'll be creating the object of login page, right? And when you get the login page reference dot, this particular get title method I'll be calling. Now where exactly your title is available, I don't want to do a hard-coded value, so I'm looking for the title, right? So title is HubSpot login. Can you see this? This is the title of the page. So I'll do one thing, I'll go to my test data. Okay, I'll go to my config.py, and here I'll maintain my, let's see, this is my login underscore page underscore title is equal to HubSpot login. Okay, and then the same title I'll be using over here. So I simply say that, okay, hey, this is what we are logging, we are test data dot this, and test data we have to import, right guys? So I'm not going to hard code the value over here, and when you get the title, so this guy will give you the title is equal to this. So login page get title method is doing what? It's waiting for the respective title that you are passing. I'm passing HubSpot login. Wait for 10 seconds. If title is visible, you return the title over here. So this is the expected title I'm giving, and the expected title is matched. Then you give me the original actual title available on the page. And when you get it, you store in this particular title, and then you simple assert. So how will you assert? I simple write assert title should be equal to what? Again, test data dot login page title. So one assertion is done. So guys, make sure you're writing your assertion according to the page object model rules. You have to write your assertions in your test class, not in your page class. Now quickly we will write one last test case. I hope you are getting it. Test underscore login. It's exactly like Java. The pattern will remain same here. The only thing is the syntax according to Python. And self I'll be using, and again I'll be creating the object of login page class. So let's create that, and I simple write self dot login page dot do login method, and here we have to pass the username password. You remember that we created do login method saying that, okay, give me the username password. So how will you give that? So username password is available, I'll maintain in my test data over here. Okay, so username is already maintained, username password, so I'll be maintaining same thing over here, and I'll just call from my test data dot username comma test data dot password. Simple. And do a login. So for this assertion, I'll be doing assertion later when we talk about page chaining model, right? When we create the home page, because after login, we are landing on the home page. And then if the home page is visible or home page, let's say your username is visible, then only we have to put an assertion. For that, we have to create the object of home page and we have to create the locators of the home page. But today I'm not going to talk about home page, right guys? So simple, let's see 3 test cases that I have written over here like that, right? And this base test is actually having this particular fixture. So this fixture is having both setup and the tear down. If you see our conf.dat test.py having this, so this will behave like a setup method, and after yield it will behave like a tear down method for me, right guys? So let's see it is working or not. So I'll do one thing, I'll go to my terminal and I try to execute this particular test underscore login page .py. So this is okay, so let's run it. Simple write pytest and go to the test package. So I simple write test package and what is the file name, test underscore login page.py, and let's see it is working or not. Okay, so it's collecting 6 items. Why? Because we have passed 2 browsers, Chrome and Firefox. But one thing is missing. See, it's opening the URL. Sorry, it's opening the page, but where's the URL? We haven't written driver.get method anywhere. So let me just terminate this. And what I'm going to do that you go to login page class constructor, and here you simple write what when you come over here, when you pass a driver over here, you do one thing, self dot driver dot launch the URL, and the URL is available in my test data dot base URL, and test data we will import like that. So you can see the base URL is available actually over here, right? So what will the sequence? The sequence is that it will go to base test. From the base test, it will go to the fixture over here. It will launch, let's see, Chrome and Firefox. 2 browsers, okay, should be launched. Okay, so I'll do one thing. Let me remove Firefox. Let's do it on Chrome only initially. If it is equal to Chrome, set the executable path and get your driver. That's it. Go back to this guy and try to create the object of login page. So when you try to create the object of login page, pass the same driver having the Chrome over here and give it to the super class also, and then you launch your URL. Perfect. And then you call this particular sign up link test, get the flag boolean true or false and assert it. Same thing for the second test, same thing for the third test. Now let's run it again and let's see what happens. So this time 3 items mean 3 test cases are there, and you can see it's launching the browser and checking everything is there or not. And yep, you can see 3 test cases. Wow, absolutely working fine, right? And yeah, now I'll do one thing, that a couple of things. First of all, that I want to check that HTML is working or not. I'm going to generate Pytest HTML. So if you remember that, we have to install a package for that. So I'll do one thing. Let's search for I simple write Pytest HTML report installation. So I'll just get the exact command. So you remember that I told you you can use this particular, you have to install this particular package. You can take, yeah, pip install Pytest HTML. We have to install it. So first install it, then only we can generate the HTML. Okay, so let's see. So for doing this, what do we have to do? Pytest test this, and if you want more logs, -v, and then hyphen hyphen HTML. V means for verbose, hyphen hyphen HTML is equal to the HTML report that you want to generate. So I simply say that, okay, in my root directory, and generate one HTML file. Let's see, my HTML file is, I want to give that hub application name is hubspot.html. Okay, so let's see it is working or not. So again, 3 test cases will be executed, and yeah, 3 test cases got executed, and let's see, HubSpot.html file got generated in the root directory, or whatever the path you want to give, guys, you can give that. You right click on it and copy path. You simple paste it over here. You can see 3 test cases are there, absolutely working fine. Perfect. Now, how to do a parallel execution? So for that, we have to install another Pytest-xsld package we have to install. So exact command I'll give you. You simple search for Pytest parallel test execution, and you have to install one package. So you can, let's see, go to this particular tutorials point. Yeah, this is the package we have to install, and we have to use -n number of threads, working groups that you have to install. I mean, you have to use that. So simple install this particular package also for parallel execution, and then we will run it in parallel execution. So it takes few seconds to download. See guys, all these chapters, all these topics I've already covered in Pytest. So please go and check Pytest series once again. Then only you will understand, okay, page object model series. Otherwise, you will be confused. Okay, so is it still downloading? Okay, I think it's done. Almost done. Okay, now it's installing Pytest-xsld. Okay, yeah, it's done. Now I'll do one thing. I have to run it in parallel mode. It means 3 test cases are there. I want to execute with parallel mode. So, and I want to generate the report as well. So after -v, I simple write -n3. It means 3 threads we have to generate, 3 working groups we have to generate, and generate the HTML file also for login page class. So let's see. You can see 3 got picked and 3 test cases are running in parallel mode. You can see 3 browsers got launched. Right, guys? See 1, 2, and 3. Super awesome. And let's wait for a few seconds to run it completely. It's done. 3 test cases got passed, and I'll generate the report once again. Just refresh this particular report. Earlier it was 727. I'll refresh this particular page once again. Now after 3 minutes, 3 test cases are absolutely working fine. Now one last thing I'll be doing, and then we are done for today. Go to base page. Go to your conf.test.py, and I'll pass one more parameter over here. This is parameterization of your fixtures with Firefox. Okay, it means 3 test cases I have written will be executed on Chrome and Firefox in parallel mode. 6 test cases should be executed in total. Okay, so let's do one thing. And -n, I'll say that please execute with 4. So 4 browser will be launched first, and then 4 plus 2, okay, browser will be launched in the second. So, okay, for the second time. So let's see. You can see 3 plus 1, 3 Chrome, 1 Firefox running together. And because at a time only 4 threads will participate. So you can see that, okay, yeah, it's going good. For Chrome also, 3 Chromes are working. Perfect. It will not disturb each other. It's totally thread safe, guys. We don't need to implement any thread safe. And the last 2 is in the second section, 2 Firefox also running together, because we have given 4 and the test cases we have 6. So at a time only 4 threads will participate. And you can see that everything is working fine, and 6 test cases got passed. And then I'll see the report once again. Refresh this particular report. 1731, 6 test cases are there. Chrome, Firefox, Chrome, Firefox, Firefox. You can see it like that. Perfect. So this is the skeleton of the framework, guys, that I have created. In the next session, I'll be telling you how to create the homepage class, how to achieve page chaining model, how to integrate with Allure report, and how to create more and more generic method out of it. This is very powerful. We have to use that properly. Okay, so that I'll tell you in the next chapter. So please do that. Try to generate the report, try to execute them, maintain simple basic packages over here. Here we don't know, it's not like Maven project, we have to maintain src main Java or src resources and all those things, but exactly same thing you can use that. Page for pages, create a separate package. For test, create a separate test packages over here like that. Okay, then you are good to go. So that's all for this particular video, guys. Thanks for watching Naveen Automation Labs. And if you like this particular POM series and with respect to Pytest Selenium integration, please subscribe to the channel, share with others, and let me know if you have any kind of question.